It's Woodstick Wednesday, and I've got a couple of unusual sticks to show you. You may remember a while ago I picked some sticks up from a gentleman called Robert, who was, turns out he was the travelling salesman for Matthew Etienne. And Robert had a few unused sticks belonging to Etienne, and I acquired them along with a friend of mine, Curtis Davis, up in Canada. We kind of split the collection between us. And in the collection were these sticks. A little bit unusual because they're mini sticks. They're little mini woodies. Now, it's not unusual to come across crib sticks, which are kind of tiny, tiny little wooden sticks. But these are kind of like, they're not really crib sticks. They're kind of, it's not a full-size head. They're a little bit smaller, but not what I'd consider kind of like a mini stick. I don't know whether it's a kind of a youth, tiny youth, you know, talking like 3-year-olds maybe. But they are little Etienne sticks. You can see there, you've got the Etienne stamp on it. And I probably need to put some new leathers in this one. I didn't realise just how brittle these leathers were actually, because as I'm about to film it, one of them was just snapped, which isn't uncommon with old wooden sticks. You know, the leathers are just, they are, you know, they've gone dry and they're just very fragile and it's very easy to snap them, and I've just snapped one of them. So we're going to replace that probably shortly after this, and maybe just put a couple of popsicle sticks, or lollipop sticks we call them over here. You call them popsicles, we call them lollipops. But we're going to just put them in there just to straighten up that gut wall and just bring that back to shape, because it's kind of snapped back in that direction towards the pocket thanks to that leather breaking. This one though, I'm not sure was made by Etienne. It's just a little bit different. Now, I'm not sure if the idea was that you were going to use these with one hand, but I'll show you why I think this is a bit different. So there's a few differences on here. So most Etienne sticks, if not all, have one gut shooter in. This has got 2 leather shooters. So a little bit different. Now, the stringing of it is not far off. It's not identical, but it's different enough for me to say, well, somebody else strung this. But that's not unusual, because Etienne had like an army of people stringing sticks for him, and you know, many of the wooden stick makers, you know, there was an army of people stringing, and interestingly enough, more often than not, it was actually women stringing the wooden sticks. But the stringing holes are slightly different, but again, not uncommon, because a lot of the time it's just done by eye. So it wasn't kind of measured up, so not that unusual. The head, it's a little bit different. I know this is kind of sprung out on this one, but it's not carved the same. You can see here, I don't know if you can see that with the light, but they are carved differently. So I'm not sure that one was made by Etienne. Just really not convinced. Now, what's pretty cool on these is they might have even been designed as like a little one-handed version, because this bit here at the butt is kind of flared out. So it's almost like a little club. It's got a little kind of natural bit there to sit in your hand. It's almost like a butt end on a modern stick, because it flares out, which you don't normally see on wooden sticks at all. But that's kind of cool, I think. It does fit in your hand perfectly. So it's interesting that you know, he's thought about doing this little flared bit. Now, it could be that, you know, it's either kind of a youth thing or it's a one-handed version. I don't know. Could be multiple reasons for having this kind of shortened stick. Interesting that it's got this kind of bit of cord here. So is that to put your hand through, maybe? Let's have a go. Let's put it round either way. Is that to put your hand through? So if you drop it, checked out your hand, you've still got your stick, maybe? I don't know. Could it be for a one-armed player? Don't know, possibly. So little bit unusual. And I know that my friend Curtis actually kept one of these, I believe one of the stamped ones. But, you know, there's no doubting that is Etienne and Son stamp. Just never seen them before prior to acquiring these. If you've come across these little wooden minis by Etienne, then let me know. I'd love to know how many others are out there, if any at all. You know, it could be that, you know, these might have been the only ones, these two and the one that Curtis has. If you got them, please let me know. But I thought you'd find those interesting. Little tiny wooden sticks.